Carlos. Welcome, welcome. British Columbia coast. Hi, Stephen. Oh, here we go. We're bringing Mayank on. It's not quite 9 o'clock yet, so we'll wait. Hi, Isabel. Hi, John. Hey, David. Ooh, 5 p.m. Hi, John. Hi, Simon. Oh, Spain. Ooh. I remember horseback riding in Spain. Hey, Laura. Thanks for the pizza. Hi, Dustin.
Tell him to try again.
To join again?
Tell him, yeah, tell him to stop watching, then watch again.
Hi, Teddy. Yeah, I know. We're trying to get Mayank on. Hold on. We're working on it. He's a little bit further away, so it may take a little bit of time.
Sorry, everybody.
All right, it's 9 o'clock though, so we can actually get started. Some announcements. He wants to know how to join.
He just needs to watch again or make a comment.
All righty. So this week we have Mayank Jain, who is coming to us from India, who does a lot of stuff with AEC people. He is the expert in point cloud and OBJ files, so he'll be here to talk about that. So that should be really exciting. And next week we'll have another guest person coming. His name is Ethan, and I adore this kid. I call him a kid because he's really young, but he's super. He's just terrific, and he works with he's a business development manager, and he is working in the insurance vertical, and so he will talk to you about how you can break into the insurance market if you haven't already, and tips on how to expand what you're doing now. There's this huge opportunity for a lot of MSPs out there to scan for insurance. Hey, hi. All righty.
Hi, how are you?
So here we have Mayank. Thank you so much for joining us today on Facebook Live. He, like I said before, is all things point cloud and OBJ, and he will be here today talking to you about that sort of thing. So without further ado, I have some questions for you. All right, so
Yep.
Mayank, what is as-built documentation?
D, when a construction of a building has been finished, then the as-built documentation is necessary because in the construction phase, many drawings that are into the design phase has been changed. So in that case, during the erection and actual construction, there are few things which changes and they have to change it on site which are not reflected in the drawings. So as well documentation is then performed so as to have the actual thing like actual documents of what has been built to analyze the changes of like what design changes have been made during the actual activities on site. And this documentation is very much necessary when, especially when reconstruction occurs, or maybe some interior designing changes, renovations, and other things.
Yeah, so there's the plans that the architect draws up, and then there's something like reality on how exactly was
Yes,
it built. So as built really is what it says. It's as it was
yes,
built, right?
yes,
So
right.
that's a good name. All right, so what is BIM?
Uh, Basically, it as like it is a short term for building information modeling. So BIM is something which there are various softwares which has been used for creating a 3D model of everything which will be like constructed or which has been constructed already, which includes architectural, structural, mechanical, electrical, and plumbing details and other stuff that is present in the building. So the benefits are when BIM has been created, all the documents are at a single database. It is a single database. So if any changes occurs in architectural, it is reflected in other streams, other disciplines as well. In terms of as well documentation, BIM, it is very much necessary because sometimes all the drawings are needed and there are changes that has been made in elevations maybe, or maybe the floor plan, or maybe they are increasing the area, or maybe there is changes in the roof. So if you have a BIM model already generated, any change that has been made, it reflects in all the drawings subsequently and all at once. So that gives the whole database of at a single place, and all the changes are reflected in all the drawings in one go.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah,
So what industries would use this sort of thing?
mostly construction industry, some architects, and in big industries like water industry, or maybe some other breweries and other plants. We've done some as well documentation of power plants. We have done some of the projects for oil and gas and chemical plants. So it is applicable to all the industries. It depends on what detail they are looking for, and we can create those from the point cloud file.
So what's the difference between the design model and the as-built model?
The design model is made when the project has to be executed, has to be executed. So it is something what we will say is conception plus detailing of what we are going to build. And in as built, when it has been built, then we will take out for a comparison, or maybe a central database, or maybe facility management. We'll take out an as built documentation to see how it has been built and how different it is from what we have designed actually.
Okay. All right. So why would I want to scan an as-built versus using more traditional methods? What do I gain by doing that?
first thing is, first thing is money. It is going to save 70% of time, and the man-hour rates of architects and other surveyors. Apart from this, point cloud data, it is very detailed. So if you are only interested in architectural, then you will hire an architect for everything, like all those survey things and measurements and other things. But there might be some changes that has to be made in HVAC ducts, or maybe some electrical plans, or maybe other things as well. So for separate disciplines, you have to have different people who are experts in their field. But with an as-built survey with a point cloud file, everything will be done at once, and it saves a lot of time, because you will be like going there and putting your scanner and then taking out the data. You can process it at your home, and then you can get it modeled. The accuracy is good, and it is sometimes more than what an architect will measure. So
yeah, the same concept applies in the insurance industry, where people will scan buildings that have damage, and what they used to do was they used to have a guy who would go out with a pen and paper and a measuring tape and measure the room and then try to draw it. But now they can just go out there and scan it, and they get this model that's created without all the manual work. So it does save a lot of time, and and you don't have to have somebody who knows about architecture scanning, right? You can have somebody else doing that. So yeah, all right.
Yeah, we recently did an old church which is damaged, and what we did in the BIM model is we created the whole BIM model. It was also it has also been scanned by like a BLK for those as-built document. But it is through Matterport platform. So what we did is we clipped the areas where the damages are, and we pasted on the specific spaces in the BIM model, so as to they can see it at once, like this is the wall and this is the area of that wall where the damage is actually, and this is the photograph, like this is the damage, how it looks like.
Oh, cool. Neat. All right. So let's talk about point clouds. So Matterport offers this thing called a Matter Pack, which includes both the point cloud and an OBJ file. So tell us why you would buy one of these, what you can do with it.
With the Matter Pack that is provided by Matterport, a cloud.xyz file plus an OBJ file, they are provided, and these files have all the data, which is accurate around 99%, sometimes more than that. And with this data, once you insert it in any CAD software or any BIM software, you can get as-built documents or maybe a 3D BIM model. All you need to do is there are various softwares like Revit, there is AutoCAD, then there is ArchiCAD, 3ds Max, Vectorworks, and few others are there which which support point cloud workflow. So you have to process the MatterPack XYZ file into a suitable format as per your software, and then it can be inserted, then it can be traced up to the detail that you want. If you want simple walls, doors, windows, floors, and roof and other things, then it depends what is your need, and then you can do. We have even done some plumbing from the MatterPack, and it became it came really nice.
Okay, so talking about that, how do you figure out the wall thickness? How do you know how thick walls are, especially exterior walls?
Yeah, interior walls, you know that it is available in the MatterPack. Exterior walls, if there are windows on that wall, and it is like transparent, or it may be open, or any such light is passing through it. The light will get reflected from the exterior sill of that window, and it is also captured in the point cloud. So determining from the sill how far it is going at the window places, we can determine the exterior wall width. So that's
Cool.
the trick.
So you use the
Yeah.
windowsills to figure it out. That's excellent.
Yes.
All right. So we have some other questions from
Yes.
Dustin. What are the various levels of development in BIM, and what level of development can be achieved using the Matterport point cloud?
Yeah. So the level of development, it is actually a bit like uh, it's not clear to many of the people. There are various level of development, that is LOD. From 100 it goes to like 400, and for facility management it goes up to 500 LOD. So in LOD 100, this is just a concept which is never used in as-built documentation. It is just a concept, so you can draw maybe 1,000 square feet room into 10 square feet or 100 square feet room, and you can simply write on it that this is the room which is 1,000. So there is nothing to take from the scaling or maybe actual geometry. Then there is Law 200, which is actually design development. So we place the geometry as per the scale, but it is not very detailed. Then there is LOD 300, in which the documentation is involved. So we'll create a model, then we'll dig out, we'll take out as well documents from it, which is maybe floor plan, all 4 elevations. We can cut down the section of the building. So that is LOD 300. And then it goes to LOD 400, so in which maybe there are trusses, so maybe there are structural elements in which you need the fabrication drawing of those structures, or maybe fabrication drawings of those trusses and other things, which is usually done at the time of design phase. It's not usually done in as-built documentation. It can be achieved, but it is never asked by the client. So LOD 300 is what we usually do. Of course, LOD 400 is achievable, but it is never demanded by any client because the fabrication has already been done for those parts.
Excellent. All right. What are the software packages that support mesh modeling from the OBJ file, for example, for complex geometry like statues?
There are various softwares, like Autodesk has 3ds Max. Then there is a free software which is MeshLab. Then there are other 2-3 more softwares which allow us to take out the mesh, and then we can edit it. Once we get the statue or other complex geometry from the matter pack, it is not very uniform, or it doesn't look like a statue exactly, because it is all done with photogrammetry. So with MeshLab or maybe Mesh Mixer, that is a right tool, I think. Mesh Mixer is what we can make a smooth statue, or maybe a smooth pillar, or maybe other things. So for creating geometry of mesh in a smooth way, Mesh Mixer and 3ds Max are most recommended. Of course, there are other softwares as well, but we don't work much with the OBJ usually. Yeah.
Cool. What about Google Earth, using it to match the exterior of a building?
It's not always it is not accurate. We usually look into Google Earth. Of course, we get some images, we get street view, we get the actual shape and size, not size, but we get shape of the roof, or maybe shape of the building, and how it is looking from outside, and the texture of the exterior, and the window frames and some other like covers, window covers, and other things. So we match it accordingly because we do have the internal dimensions of those things. So we do it accordingly.
So how would you incorporate the scans that you get on your BLK camera with the Matterport point cloud? Can you do that? Because on the BLK, it stores the point cloud, right?
Yeah. If we want a very dense point cloud, I think that is the question, right? So
Yep.
if we want a very dense point cloud, because Matterport to decrease the size, of course, we have
Yep.
never seen an inaccurate BLK point cloud generated from Matterport, but the density is low because to decrease the size. So if you want a very dense point cloud, then in that case, you can simply use Cyclone 360, Register 360, as well as Recap Pro. And you can directly like process your point cloud files, BLK files, or maybe E57. These two are generated, taken out directly from the scanner. And then you can process them, you can register them, and get a very dense point cloud.
Cool. So you can integrate them.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yes.
So Tom asks, if we provide a few exterior scans, can you use those to determine the wall thickness?
If if it is connected to the interior, then it is enough to determine the wall thickness. So that should be like if it is from Pro2 or something like Matterport generated, then it will be a single point cloud. So no problem with that. We will get it the wall thickness in the point cloud itself.
Yeah, cool. How can you tie scan data from other data? Like, can you tie in? How can you tie scan data to other data? Like,
yeah,
like from a drone footage, for example.
Drone footage, like it is something of the same concept, like the Google Earth thing, but a bit more accurate. But usually they are generated from Pix4D or maybe Drone Deploy. So this data, when it is processed from the photogrammetry, we usually we usually take Matterport into consideration, and we create an interior model, and then we place this second point cloud, which is generated from like a drone or something, and then we do the exterior. But the geometry, it has to be taken from the internal scanner only.
Okay.
Because you cannot rely on the photogrammetry point cloud generated from these softwares.
Okay. So I know that you have a company and that you offer some services. So tell us about what the name of your company is. Tell us a little bit about it, and tell us what you offer and how you can help our MSPs.
I'm the founder of Amaya CAD. It's a company based in Mumbai, India, and we are a small company. We are 14 people now. So we are working on similar kind of projects like Matterport to 3D conversion, BIM conversion. We also provide other services like 3D modeling from blueprints and some mechanical modeling, product modeling, and other services which are like not related to this industry, but like it can be used if needed, especially the manhole thing that is being done nowadays. So we provide that kind of, and we have done many chemical plant projects as well, in which we produced PDM and PDMS and other softwares. We produced like as-built documents as well as design documents. And so we are like 14 people now, and growing, and we are working with a lot of MSPs currently, and we produce as-built documentation for them. the services are can be customized as per their need, because every client they ask for different things.
Yeah.
So we are ready to customize anything as per their need if it is possible, and that's how we are growing. And like with Matterport, we have like we were a 6 people company and we are 14 now, and the major contribution is of Matterport.
Yay.
Yeah, thanks.
So the name of your company is AmayaCAD,
Yeah,
AMAYACAD. And the
yes,
website is www.amayacad.com. That's AMAYACAD. You can also contact Mayank directly through Facebook. He's very good to work with. I've been very happy with him. It's nice to see that you're talking about marrying the manhole issue as well.
yeah,
So that's where, of course, John Hubbard comes in. So it's a small
yes,
world, and it's very
yes.
exciting. And I know that Mayank has been available and has helped a lot of our MSPs. So yeah, feel free to reach out to him if you have any specific questions. So,
Yes, and
so
one more thing, if somebody wants to do it in-house, like we don't have any problem sharing the workflow or helping anyone
yep.
for any need they want, because everybody is having different needs, and they can do it by themselves as well. So of course, we are doing it a lot, so we are very fast. But if any individual wants to work on those point clouds, they can be like they can contact us anytime, and I'll be ready to I'll be happy to share the workflow with them.
Yeah, I think I've heard from many people about how happy they are with your service, and the fact that you're so generous with your time and you're willing to help. And so yeah, I'm actually honored that you agreed to come on and share your time with us. So thank you. Yeah, and from the
Yeah.
reality capture experts I see, they love you too.
Yes. Yeah. Reality capture experts, like it is the best thing that I have joined, and people are so supportive. I just love the community.
Yeah, that's pretty
Thank you,
awesome.
Dustin.
Yay, Dustin. All right. So anything else that you want to talk about before we wrap up?
I think I have shared most of the things. And if any help is needed, feel free to contact me and message me or call me or maybe drop an email to me, and I'll be ready to help you out in any kind of, like, we are using a lot of softwares, but not all. But many of them which are like we can provide you files that are compatible with ArchiCAD, Vectorworks, 3ds Max is already through OBJ file can be inserted. We can convert into RCP file to work with Revit and like AutoCAD. So any help needed, just ping me and I'll be there.
Yay, thank you so much, and thank
Yeah.
you for your time. We really appreciate it. A few announcements while I have you guys here. Um, if you were, if you're looking at your invoice from April the 1st and you were charged processing fees for large uploads that would normally in the past have been included in your free uploads, contact support will take care of you. We don't have an official word on what's happening with that yet, so bear with us. I will keep you all updated as I get more information. Don't forget, next week we'll have Ethan, who's going to talk about in the insurance industry. So for those of you who sit at home in the winter when the real estate market is kind of slow, you can break into the insurance industry and you can have lots more work and you can be working all year round. It's a fast growing industry. They're using Matterport a lot. So Ethan will be here to tell you how to start and get into that business and how to grow it. And then in the future, we're also looking at having some other really great MSPs come on board to talk to you about how they have grown their business, how they started, how they go about getting jobs and such. So we're probably have people like Bill Robinson and Emily Ullman, and of course my dear Lisa Hinson, who will join us and share their vast knowledge and experience. So we've got some exciting
Perfect.
things coming up, and also I believe that RJ will be joining us again shortly. I have to go and get him to commit to a time.
Yeah.
But I will work on that. But again, we will be here next week, same time, 9 o'clock in the morning, Pacific time with Ethan. And again, thank you everybody for watching. And again, my sincere gratitude to you, Mayank. We've also got a podcast that we're going to be sharing with you shortly. So you can also listen to a lot of the information he shared with us in the podcast. Anyway, I will see you all next week. Bye.
Thanks a lot. Bye.